Volunteering at a therapeutic riding center. Produced by Horseback Riding for the Handicapped of New Jersey. Sponsored in part by Jersey Fresh. This video is intended to supplement the volunteer training program at your therapeutic riding center. Many centers are members of the North American Riding for the Handicapped Association, or NARA. NARA centers provide services to riders with a variety of disabilities, physical, cognitive, or emotional, such as autism, spinal cord injury, cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, and developmental delays. Your center will provide specific information about the riders they serve. All NARA member centers are guided by the accreditation standards. This video has been made in accordance with these standards. Section 1. Volunteer Arrival. Let's start with arriving at your center. Large jewelry should be removed. It may get damaged or may scratch the horse, the rider, or the saddle. Long, dangly, or hoop earrings should be removed, for they may get tangled up in the horse's mane or the tack. Long hair should be tied back. Cell phones and pagers should be turned off, and if possible, left with your other belongings. You should plan to wear sturdy, comfortable footwear, such as paddock boots, walking shoes, or sneakers. Most volunteers wear jeans, riding breeches, or khakis. Now you are ready to get to work.
Hi, Carol. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. When you sign in, would you check the tack-up list? There's a couple changes today.
Okay. All right. I'll be out in a sec.
All right.
Your center will have a procedure for signing in before lessons. It is important for your center to be able to document just how many hours volunteers contribute to the program. Some people prefer to wear gloves for horse handling. Review. Remove jewelry. Be sure to turn cell phones off. Wear proper clothing. Remember to sign in. Section 2. Grooming and Tack. Some centers have staff to take care of the horses, but you may be asked to assist in the grooming and tacking up of horses and ponies for the day's lessons. People with no equestrian background can quickly learn the basics from experienced volunteers or staff. Your center will go over their procedures for these tasks. In general, currying, brushing, and picking out feet need to be done for all lesson horses. In some programs, grooming is part of the lesson, and volunteers may assist riders to groom their horses. Some special equipment that may be used for lessons may be unfamiliar to you, such as special safety stirrups, Devonshire boots, or adaptive reins. Your center will have a system to help you find out what tack to use on which horse. Once the horses are ready, volunteers take them to the mounting area. Review. Volunteers groom program horses. Volunteers tack up program horses. Your center will teach you about adaptive tack. Section 3. Mounting procedures. Riders generally arrive a few minutes before their lesson time and may need assistance from a volunteer to find and correctly fit their helmets. Volunteers may be asked to accompany young riders to the waiting area and stay with them until the horses are ready for mounting. Your center will explain other specific duties for greeting and assisting riders before lesson time.
You're all set.
Mounting techniques vary for each rider. Some riders will need a lot of support while mounting, others only minimal help. Just prior to mounting, the instructor makes a final tack safety check. Mounting procedures are conducted by the instructor or a specially trained volunteer. The leader should stand at or near the horse's head to prevent all movement once the horse is aligned for mounting. The instructor will provide assistance to the rider as needed.
Both hands on. Ready? 1.
Here, you see a young rider who needs minimal help to mount his pony from the ramp.
I'm going to hold your leg up.
He is wearing a waist belt with handholds for safety. Other riders need more assistance from the instructor and volunteers. Here you see an adult rider with paraplegia who is quite independent with her mounting procedure. The offside helper is there to receive and guide the rider into place on the saddle. The instructor will ensure that the rider is stabilized on the saddle or pad before the horse moves away from the mounting area.
My foot's in. Is her foot in? Yes, it is.
Safely away from the mounting area, the leader stops the horse prior to entering the working area of the arena to check the rider's leathers and stirrups. Any adjustments needed can be made at this time.
Okay, let's head on into the ring.
Your center will provide specific details for other types of mounting procedures done at your center. Review. Mounting is conducted by the instructor or a designated specially trained volunteer. The leader stands at or near the horse's head to prevent movement. Offside volunteers are used to help guide the rider safely into the saddle. The instructor will make certain the rider is stabilized before leaving the mounting area. Section 4. Leading and Side Walking. Some riders will need a leader and 2 sidewalkers, while others may ride independently with watchful volunteers acting as spotters. Leaders should be comfortable handling horses. Horses are very aware of and sensitive to the person leading them. Therapeutic riding horses are specially trained to take directions from their leader. As a leader, you are responsible for where and how fast the horse goes at the direction of the instructor. In an emergency, the leader takes complete control of the horse. The leader's full attention must at all times be on the instructor and the horse's attitude and response to the rider's aids. The leader is responsible for communicating any horse issues or concerns to the instructor and sidewalkers. The lead line is held with 2 hands. The free end should be looped back and forth, never wrapped around your hand for safety reasons. Allow the horse freedom to move his head as he walks or trots, but be ready to prevent too much speed. Leading can be categorized into 4 basic categories. The first category is active leading on the lead line. The leader is totally responsible for all movements of the horse. The horse is receiving all aids from the leader, not the rider. This type of leading is primarily used for riders doing exercises, brand new riders, or riders learning a new skill. The second category is passive leading on the lead line. The horse is still on the lead line, but the leader is not actively giving the horse direction. The rider will be giving the horse aids for the walk-on and halt, and rein aids for steering, but may not be proficient enough to be completely independent. This way, the rider can learn a new skill while the leader can still control the horse if needed. When halted for some time, the leader moves around to the front of the horse's head to prevent movement. The third category is passive leading off the lead line. The lead line is off, but the leader continues to stay by the horse's head. This is a big step for many riders. It is their first big move to independence, and while they are actually riding independently off lead line, the leader is still very close by to help out if necessary. The fourth category is the spotter. The leader stands in the center of the ring, watching their horse and rider at all times during the lesson. While it may seem a non-active job, spotters are extremely important to independent riders and instructors. They must be ready to assist instantly if the rider or instructor needs their help. Sidewalkers, also called side aids, directly assist the rider during the lesson. Their attention is always on the rider and the instructor. Sidewalkers ensure the rider carries out the instructor's directions and stays safely centered on the horse's back. Some riders may have no sidewalkers, while others may have one or two. Different riders may require different types of support. The instructor will direct the sidewalker as to the type of support needed. The single arm lock is when the sidewalker places the forearm closest to the rider over the rider's thigh and grasps the front of the saddle. The double arm lock is when the sidewalker places the forearm closest to the rider over the rider's thigh and the other hand holds the rider's heel or ankle in place. The ankle hold is when the sidewalker holds the rider's ankle to stabilize the rider's lower leg. In passive sidewalking, the sidewalker walks alongside the rider and is available for moral support, reinforcing directions, or physical assistance when needed. As a spotter, the sidewalker is asked to spot the rider from the center of the ring. Communication between sidewalkers should not interfere with the instructor's directions. In an emergency situation, the sidewalker stays with the rider unless otherwise directed by the instructor. Riders with two sidewalkers that are providing arm locks for the entire lesson may need to change sides to avoid tired arms. If you need to switch sides with the other sidewalker, ask the leader and rider to move off the track and halt. One at a time, you will leave the rider and move to the other side. The rider should never be without one sidewalker providing an arm lock while at the halt. During warm-up and before the lesson begins, feel free to get to know your rider and encourage him or her to talk to you. However, talking should be kept to a minimum once the lesson has begun. If the rider appears distracted, you should direct their attention back to the instructor.
Feel good? Yeah. Okay.
Review. The leader has full responsibility for the horse. The leader holds the lead line correctly without restricting the horse's movement. The leader takes complete control of the horse in an emergency. Sidewalkers support the rider as directed. They help keep the rider focused on the instructor and the task at hand. Sidewalkers switch sides safely. Section 5. Dismounting. In this section, you will see two types of dismount, one to a wheelchair and one to the ground. Dismounting, like mounting, is conducted by the instructor or a designated trained volunteer. The leader stands in front of the horse to prevent movement. The sidewalkers act as spotters or helpers as directed by the instructor. Sidewalkers may be asked to help remove the rider's feet from the stirrups. This rider is demonstrating a technique for dismounting directly into her wheelchair. The offside helper is there to provide security. Another sidewalker makes sure the chair is in position to receive the rider.
You're in. Just scoot back.
You did very well today, Sue. Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you, Sue.
A partial assist dismount is performed for many riders.
Lay down.
The offside volunteer ensures that the rider's right leg gets safely over the horse's back and the saddle.
Back from the pony.
Good girl.
After dismounting, volunteers may assist riders with putting their helmets away, walking back to the waiting area, returning the horse to the barn, cleaning up the ring, and cleaning and putting away tack.
Right? Yep. High five it. All right. See ya.
Review. Dismounting is conducted by an instructor or a specially trained volunteer. The leader stands at or near the horse's head to prevent movement. Sidewalkers may assist the rider with removing feet from the stirrups. Section 6. Emergency Procedures. Conducting safe lessons is the first priority of all therapeutic riding programs. But in dealing with horses, sometimes unexpected events happen. As a volunteer in a program lesson, the safety of the rider comes first. In an emergency situation, the leader should maintain full control of the horse. The sidewalkers should adopt the arm lock position with the rider. As part of your training, your center will practice an emergency dismount procedure. If the horse is upset and the volunteers feel the rider is at risk, or the rider becomes very unbalanced, the leader or sidewalker should get the instructor's immediate attention. While the leader handles the horse, one sidewalker should help the rider dismount quickly. The offside sidewalker should ensure the rider's other foot is clear of the stirrup and help the leg over the side of the horse. If a rider falls during a lesson, the leader remains with the horse. The sidewalkers, if present, can try to break the fall to the ground. The instructor is in charge. Leaders will be asked to halt. The instructor will decide on the next course of action and may direct an experienced volunteer to take charge of the other riders in the lesson. If the situation warrants, the instructor will ask a volunteer to call for emergency medical service. All centers have this information posted by the phone. Another volunteer will be dispatched to get the first aid kit. Another will be asked to wait outside to direct the EMS team upon arrival. Each center has set up their own procedure for dealing with emergencies, and you will practice this during your orientation. Regular practice ensures a smooth operation in the event of a real emergency. Other emergencies, such as weather-related emergencies, loose horses, etc., will also be covered in your center's orientation. Procedures for all emergencies will be posted throughout your center. Review. Remember, safety always comes first. Follow the directions of the instructor. The leader maintains control of the horse. The sidewalkers assist the rider as needed. Volunteering in lessons at a therapeutic riding center is a rewarding experience, made more rewarding when you, the volunteer, are familiar with the job you are expected to do.
Because I'm a paraplegic, I lose my balance. I feel like I'm shifting one way or the other because my seat isn't correct. I'm not really centered. And when I begin going around a turn, I begin to slide a bit. And if the volunteer weren't there, I would, I'd be off the horse essentially. So they help me enormously.
When I go to get on a horse, I cannot get on a horse unless there's someone holding me and someone holding the horse. If it wasn't for volunteers, I wouldn't be able to ride.
My personal favorite part as being a volunteer is just interacting with the riders, whether it's a child or an adult, and they're able to show me what they can do, and that makes me feel good that they're able to do so much.
Well, it's opened up a whole new world to me of the therapeutic value of riding. I had done some riding as a young adult while I was in college, and that was pure equitation, and you really never had the opportunity to realize what a valuable tool it is in someone's developmental therapy.
We ask volunteers to come out for training sessions and also to know what their schedules are and how they might fit in comfortably coming out to the program at a time when they're looking forward to getting out in the fresh air and helping others.
While working with the riders and horses is important, there are many other ways you can help your center. Volunteers are always needed to help in the office with fundraising, phone calls, paperwork, and mailings. Barn volunteers can also help with chores, such as cleaning tack, exercising and caring for program horses, and cleaning in the barn. We hope your volunteering experience is positive and rewarding. Thank you for volunteering. This video was generously sponsored in part by Jersey Fresh. To order this video, or for more information, please call Horseback Riding for the Handicapped of New Jersey at 609-259-3884. Horseback Riding for the Handicapped would like to thank Handicapped High Riders, Allentown, New Jersey; Somerset Hills Handicapped Riding Center, Oldwick, New Jersey. We also thank all the riders, volunteers, students, staff, and horses who contributed to this video. For more information on therapeutic horseback riding, contact the national organization, North American Riding for the Handicapped Association, at 1-800-369-RIDE, or visit our website at www.nara.org.